show up the next day and pick up all the stuff he bought.
And where better to buy than in Vegas, baby? On one day in 2002, Jacko bought enough jewelry, antiques, and collectibles, like this gold-plated replica of King Tut's tomb, to set him back an astounding $6 million.
$6 million in one day? And by the way, his people returned it all. Michael probably has no idea that that stuff's gone.
If there's anything strange to buy, Michael Jackson might be in the market for it.
Like a life-size Jolly Green Giant statue, or his collection of mannequins. Michael has 17 of them. Then there are his Sony Aibo virtual dogs. Michael has 10 of them at $5,000 a pop.
Great wealth allows you to indulge in your idiosyncrasies. You can spend money on whatever you want.
And when he wants extravagant jewelry, he goes to this man.
I'm Jacob the Jeweler, you know that, right? I'm simply the best.
Jacob is New York's hottest diamond dealer. Jay-Z, Chris Rock, Justin, and MJ all count on him for the bling.
I make jewelry anywhere between $1,000 to $1.5 million.
For Jacko, it was $2.3 million for a custom-made, diamond-encrusted coat of arms.
If you haven't noticed, Michael does pretty much whatever he wants, from a $2 million coat of arms to multi-million-dollar houses.
Michael Jackson lives in a handful of spectacular homes at all times. He owns some ridiculous places, but then he rents others too.
In 1999, Michael lived here, a 12,000 square foot, 7-story New York townhouse with 6 bedrooms, a 35-foot living room, and private elevator. Cost $75,000 a month.
But that wasn't enough. At the same time, he kept a $10,000 a night suite at the Four Seasons just a few blocks away.
It's good to be the king. And when this king goes house hunting, not even a castle will do. Michael needs an entire village. Poggio Santa Cecilia, a 1,700-acre village, boasts an 18th century villa, 2 lakes, an English garden, a church, olive press, oil mill, and 40 houses. Asking price, $31 million.
He hasn't bought it yet, but Michael Jackson has his eye on this outrageous property in Italy, something out of a fairy tale.
But there's no fairy tale quite like Neverland.
What Michael Jackson's got at Neverland is truly another dimension.
The incredible 2,700-acre California ranch includes a 25-room mansion, movie theater, arcade, water park, choo-choo train, and even a mock Indian village. Just protecting the estate requires a security team of 150 police officers and firemen.
There is nothing like Neverland. I mean, he has a freaking amusement park, for God's sakes.
And for that, MJ had a Ferris wheel designed to his exact specifications.
He wanted a customized wheel in his colors, his lights, not red or burgundy, but he wanted Pinot Noir.
MJ got exactly what he wanted. 60 feet tall with seating for 50 and delivered right to his backyard for a measly $300 grand.
As soon as the wheel was set up, he went 3 or 4 times what would be a normal ride and just loved the wheel.
But there's nothing MJ loves more than his pets.
Michael also has a petting zoo with the most massive collection of exotic animals. You've never seen anything like it.
Michael's starting lineup: Petunia, the pot-bellied pig, Linus, the sheep, Baba the elephant, and a 12-foot-long python named Madonna.
Alligators, giraffes, elephants, llamas. I mean, who has wallabies, a python, and a sheep named Linus?
MJ does. And when you have over 200 creatures playing in your yard, you need someone to coach the team.
Elephants and big cats and bears are my specialty. I do primates also. My prices are a little bit high because of my experience level and what I do. Most people feel I'm worth it.
For $1,000 a day, Hayden is Michael's personal animal trainer.
Certain individuals build their own little oasis where they have their private zoo where they can go out and take their kids. And of course, you got to have the dinero to do it.
Try $1 million a year to maintain his private zoo. How's that for mucho dinero? In 1968, Michael Jackson made half a penny per record as a member of the Jackson 5. 39 years, 25 albums, and 44 solo hits later, Michael is an international icon with money to burn.
From the start, Michael stood out. When you think about it, he's really spent the last 4 decades making music history.
With tremendous album sales, record-breaking concert tours, and monstrous merchandising, MJ hasn't just made history, he's made an absolute fortune.
Unless you've been living under a rock for the last 40 years, you've dropped a dime in his pocket.
To give you a sense of how rich he is, you've got to ask, who doesn't own a Michael Jackson album?
His first solo album, Off the Wall, had 4 #1 hits, pulling in $37 million. 1982's Thriller scored 8 Grammys, earning $115 million. And his Bad, Dangerous, and History albums all debuted at #1, bringing in a whopping $150 million combined. Selling over 200 million albums worldwide, Michael's raked in over $300 million.
Michael makes a fortune from all his music because he's one of the few artists who actually owns the rights to all his music.
But why stop there? Michael doesn't just own his music, he owns the Beatles too. The greatest rock group of all time had 20 #1 hits and released nearly 300 songs. In 1985, MJ bought their entire catalog for $50 million. Today, his investment is worth $500 million.
This is the most famous group in rock history, and they don't even own their own songs. Michael owns them.
Every time you hear a Beatles song on the radio, Michael Jackson gets paid.
And that's just the beginning. Michael's banked more than $30 million from merchandising.